Good afternoon, all of you. So now we are going to discuss another important thing, that is bioreactor. So what is bioreactor? So already I given some introduction related to bioreactor. So what is the actual bioreactor? It is also known as fermenters, fermenter. So what is the definition for standard definition for fermenter or bioreactors? So these are large vessel-like metal containers, right? So large vessel-like metal containers are called bioreactors, right? So large vessel-like metal containers, which helps in conversion of raw material into a specific product or desirable product called bioreactors. So definition for bioreactor: it is a large vessel-like metal containers which helps in conversion of raw material biologically into a specific product or desirable product called bioreactor. Bioreactors, right? Then, okay, what is the use of bioreactor? To the production, the ultimate aim of bioreactor is production of desirable product or required product. But how we will obtain desirable product or required product? So how we will culture bacterial cells in bioreactor? So we'll see one by one, right? So this bioreactor is large cylindrical shaped structure, large cylindrical shaped structure with curved base, right? So this bioreactor is large cylindrical shaped structure with curved base. See here, this is curved base, right? Done. And one more thing, it cultures around 100 to 1000 liters of culture can be processed in bioreactor, right? And another one, around 100 to 1000 liters of culture can be processed by the bioreactor, right? So this bioreactor is large cylindrical shaped structure with curved base. So this curved base, what is the use of curved base? That curved base facilitates mixing of reactor contents properly, right? So that curved base which is present in bioreactor, right, helps in mixing of reactor contents, right, bioreactor contents properly, right? And that too, it can be, right, that bioreactor cultures around 100 to 1000 liters of culture can be processed. Around 100 to 1000 liters of culture can be processed in bioreactors. Bioreactors. See here. So this is mortar. See here it is mortar. Then this is a reading, right? It indicates reading, right? That mortar reading. Right? So it is indicator. Done. So it indicates motor, right? Done. And come to here. So it has flat blade impeller and foam breaker also. Flat blade impeller and foam breaker. See, during culturing of bacteria, right? So some foam will be formed at the top of the bioreactor. So that foam breaked by the, right, fragmented by the foam breaker. See, this is foam breaker, right? So this structure act as foam breaker. Done. Come to here. So this is flat blade impeller. Flat blade impeller. So what is the use of flat blade impeller? Right, it helps in agitating. It means mixing of reactor contents properly. This also helps in some mixing of reactor contents. So come to here. Right. So this is stirrer actually, right? Stirrer. So that stirrer has flat blade impeller and foam breaker. So up to here, we transferred desirable material or raw material into the bioreactor, right? So what type of raw material we transferred into the bioreactor? So salts, minerals, vitamins, right? Substrate. Substrate means lactose medium. For example, lactose medium act as food material for the bacterial cells, right? So that lactose, either lactose or agarose medium, whatever it may be, right? So that agarose medium or lactose medium act as substrate to the bacterial culture. So that lactose medium or agarose medium also we add it to the bioreactor. In addition to the substrate, so vitamins, salts, right? So vitamins, salts, and substrate. So we have to add into the bioreactor. How much? Around 100 to 1000 liters. So that 1000 liters of raw material transferred to the bioreactor. Bioreactor. Okay, right? So this structure indicates that steam for sterile air, steam for sterilization, it is steam for sterilization, sterilization. See, we have to transfer steam for the sterilization process, right? Done. And this structure indicates, this port indicates pH control system, pH control system, pH control system, right? So this is motor and it is pH control system. It maintains optimum pH, right? And it is steam for sterilization, right? So we pump steam for the sterilization of the raw material, right? And one more thing, this is sterile air, right? This port, right? Through this port, we allowed sterile air also, sterile air, sterile air. And see, up to here, raw material is present in that bioreactor or fermenter. See, this structure indicates that, that blade indicates that foam breaker, foam breaker, right? Foam breaker. And what about this saw? It is flat blade impeller, flat blade impeller, impeller, right? Done. What about this remaining material? Right, culture broth it is. So remaining material is culture broth. It is nothing but raw material. See, this is culture broth, right? So now come to one by one. So this is the this is the structure of bioreactor. Which bioreactor? Simple stirring type of bioreactor. Simple stirring type of bioreactor. So widely using or most commonly using bioreactor in our DNA technology is simple stirring type of bioreactor. So better to write it as simple stirred or stirring, simple stirring type of bioreactor, simple stirring type of bioreactor. So now come to one by one. So what is the actual definition for bioreactor? Right, it is a large vessel like metal container around 100 to 1000 liters of raw material biologically converted into desirable product in bioreactor, right? So around 100 to 1000 liters raw material can be processed in this bioreactor. It is also known as fermenter, right? So what is the actual structure? It is a large cylindrical shaped structure with curved base. So what is the use of this curved base? It facilitates mixing of reactor contents properly. It facilitates mixing of that curved base, facilitates mixing of reactor contents properly. And one more thing, but it is foam breaker, right? So during stirring process, so that foam is formed at the top, right? So that foam breaked by the foam breaker, right? And it is flat blade impeller. So that flat blade impeller is useful for mixing of reactor contents properly again, right? So here that stirrer also helps in, this entire stirrer helps in mixing of that reactor contents properly. And one more thing, in yesterday's class, I told you one thing, it has pH control system. Yes, it has pH control system, and it is also has temperature control system, right? It is another side actually, temperature control system. Okay, right. And one more thing, agitator system. What is agitator system? See, agitator system is nothing but so that stirring structure. This entire structure is called agitating structure. What is the use of agitating structure, sir? See, that agitating structure helps in mixing of that contents, reactor contents. And one more thing, sampling port, oxygen delivery system, sampling port. So oxygen delivery system helps in supplying of oxygen to the reactor, supplying oxygen to the reactor. So why so? What is the use of oxygen? Yes, so some aerobic bacterial members, right? That some aerobic bacterial members undergoes binary fission in the presence of oxygen only, right? So that type of aerobic bacterial culture requires oxygen, right? So it has oxygen delivery system also, right? And one more thing, sampling port. What is sampling port? Right. So this entire bioreactor has, right, at one end, and this bioreactor has sampling port, right, for the collection of substrate, for the collection of substrate. So why we need to collect substrate periodically, right? So in every 5 minutes or in every 20 minutes, we collected some amount of substrate from the bioreactor. Why so? Why? Because to testing the culture, right, to testing the culture or replication capacity, so periodically we withdrawn that culture from the bioreactor through sampling port, through sampling port. See, that bioreactor also has sampling port at the base actually, sampling port. So what is the use of sampling port? Through sampling port we collected that substrate molecule, right, periodically, right, in every 20 minutes we collected some amount of sample from the bioreactor to check the physiologically active growth in bacterial cells, active growth in bacterial cells. For example, after 1 hour, right, how many bacterial cells are formed for 1 gram, 1 gram, right, like that, to check the bacterial growth, bacterial culture. So periodically we withdrawn that raw material from the bioreactor through sampling port, through sampling port, right? So in this way, right, we dumped around 100 to 1000 liters of raw material into the bioreactor first. So what type of raw material? Minerals, vitamins, and substrate. Substrate means either it is lactose or agarose medium we transferred to the bioreactor, right? And that too, that bioreactor maintains optimum conditions. What are optimum conditions? Optimum temperature, optimum pH, optimum substrate, right? Then it is also has pH control system, steam for sterilization, right, and oxygen delivery system, sampling port, agitator system also. So it maintains optimum conditions, right? So now already in selection of transformed cells from the non-transformed cells step, we collected recombinant cells. Am I right? Right. So in last step, selection of transformed cells from the non-transformed cells, we collected recombinant DNA containing cells. Am I right? So that recombinant DNA containing cells we transferred into the bioreactor. Bioreactor. See, already this bioreactor filled with 1000 liters of raw material, 1000 liters of raw material. Right now, we added we added recombinant DNA containing bacterial cells. So that foreign genetic material or alien DNA containing bacterial cells we transferred into the bioreactor. Bioreactor. So how many cells are? Not exactly. So maybe maybe two or four cells we transferred into the bioreactor. So what will happen in every 20 minutes? That bacterial cells become double. No, in every 20 minutes that bacterial cells become double. So like that. So after one day, after 24 hours, so that 1000 liters of raw material converted into 1000 liters of bacterial cells, 1000 liters of rDNA containing bacterial cells. Is it clear? See, in last step we selected recombinant DNA containing bacterial cells. In which step? Selection of transformed cells from the non-transformed cells. by the selectable markers, by using selectable markers. So by using incisional inactivation, by the colony hybridization technique, so we selected and collected a recombinant DNA containing cells. So that recombinant DNA containing cells we transferred into the bioreactor, right? See, in optimum conditions, that bacterial cells undergoes continuous binary fission. Binary fission. So rapidly in optimum conditions, they replicate and forms around 1,000 liters of bacterial cells. Right. So in one day, otherwise after 24 hours, what will happen? That entire raw material, 1,000 liters of raw material gradually converted into 1,000 liters of bacterial cells. Which type of bacterial cells here? rDNA containing bacterial cells. See that rDNA or foreign genetic material which is present in each bacteria undergoes transcription and translation and synthesizes one particular protein. So that protein is considered as a recombinant protein or desirable protein. Recombinant protein or desirable protein. So now each and every bacterial cell which is present in bioreactor has recombinant protein or desirable protein. Is it clear? Right? See, when we transfer that recombinant DNA containing bacterial cells into the bioreactor, so what will happen? That bacterial cells undergoes replication, right? Binary fission or replication. See, along with the bacterial genetic material, so we inserted foreign genetic material now into the bacterial cell. That foreign genetic material also undergoes replication, right? So like that, so total raw material converted into bacterial cells. Bacterial cells. See, that bacterial cells utilizes that raw material and converted into many bacterial cells, right? By the binary fission. So in that process, each and every bacterial cell which is present in bioreactor has foreign genetic material, foreign DNA or desirable DNA. So that desirable DNA in bacterial cells undergoes transcription and translation. It means it undergoes transcription and translation and synthesizes on particular protein. We call it as a desirable protein. So in this way, the desirable proteins are synthesized in bacterial cells by the alien DNA or a desirable DNA in rDNA containing bacterial cells. Like that, desirable product synthesized in bacterial cells in bioreactor, in bioreactors, right? So which type of bioreactor we are using here? So simple stirring type of bioreactor, widely, right? So most commonly using bioreactor in rDNA technology is so simple stirring type of bioreactor. So this is. Then come to second type. Another type of bioreactor is there now. What it is? Sporg type of bioreactor. Sporg type of bioreactor. Second one. So come to here. Second method, second type of bioreactor, Sporg. So this is Sporg type of bioreactor. Right. So this is Sporg type of bioreactor. So what is the difference between simple stirring type of bioreactor and Sporg type of bioreactor, sir? See, in Sporg type of bioreactor, it is open type of bioreactor, it is closed type of bioreactor, right? And one more thing, here increased surface area present in Sporg type of bioreactor, right? Increased surface area. So this indicates increased surface area, for oxygen transfer, then, and it indicates that gas entrainment entrainment. It means so that gas through diffusion process that gas enters into the bioreactor, right? Into the nutrient medium, actually nutrient medium, gas entrainment. So we call it as gas entrainment, this structure. It means by the diffusion process, so that gas which is present in surrounding atmosphere so enters into the bioreactor here, right? And this increasing surface area or increased surface area helps in so transferring of oxygen from the atmosphere to bioreactor, right? And that too, it is open type of bioreactor, right? So this is raw material, as usual raw material, right? So this is stirrer actually. So that stirrer helps in mixing of reactor contents properly. This stirrer, right? As usual, same procedure again. So we collected recombinant cells in previous step. Now that recombinant cells, either 4 or 2, whatever it may be, right? That recombinant cells, when we transferred into the bioreactor, right, which contains nutrient medium, so biologically, that raw material converted into desirable product. But how so? So why? Because that bacterial cells in favorable conditions undergoes binary fission. Binary fission. See, whenever they undergoes binary fission, along with the bacterial genetic material, that foreign genetic material also replicated. So that foreign genetic material undergoes transcription and translation within the bacterial cell and produces desirable products, required product or desirable product. So what is the major difference in between these two? In simple stirring type of bioreactor, it is closed type of bioreactor, but it is open type of bioreactor, right? So this increased surface area helps in oxygen transfer from the atmosphere, right? And it indicates that gas entrainment, and these are gas bubbles, right? Gas bubbles, right? Gas bubbles. And what type of bioreactor it is? Second type of bioreactor, Sporged type of bioreactor. So widely using or most commonly using bioreactor in RDNA technology is simple stirring type of bioreactor compared to Spark type of bioreactor, right? So now tell me, what is the use of bioreactor? So that bioreactor helps in conversion of raw material into desirable products biologically. Biologically means with the help of microorganisms, right? So now down that two diagrams important, ma. Simple stirring type of bioreactor and spark type of bioreactor. As this is pH control system, steam for sterilization, motor, foam breaker, flat blade impeller, culture broth, sterile air, increased surface area for oxygen transfer, gas entrainment, gas bubbles. Right. So now come to another step, that is downstream processing. Downstream processing. Last one in process of RDNA technology, that is downstream processing. So what is the use of downstream processing? For the separation of desirable products or required product from the bacterial cells. See, after synthesis of desirable product in bacteria by the desirable gene, so how we will isolate that desirable product from the bacterial cells, so, right? By using downstream processing. What is downstream processing? We'll see. Right. Up to here, millions of bacterial cells, around 1,000 liters of RDNA containing bacterial cells present in bioreactor. That too, they contains desirable product. But now, how we will separate the desirable product from the bacterial cells? So, right? So, by using downstream processing, downstream processing. What is downstream processing? So, see, after completion of biosynthetic phase or biosynthetic stage means rapid growth of bacteria. After synthesis of bacterial cells, 1,000 liters of bacterial cells, right? So, how we will separate the desirable product from the bacterial cells called downstream processing. And separate definition is there, again, I'll give you, right? So, after biosynthetic phase, after biosynthetic biosynthesis stage or biosynthetic stage, so the product subjected to the a series of processes, right? That product which is present in recombinant DNA containing cells subjected subjected to the a series of processes. See, that series of processes called downstream processing, right? So after biosynthetic stage, that product which is present in bacterial cells subjected to the a series of processes called downstream processing, right? Otherwise, you can take another definition. So purification and separation. Otherwise, separation and purification is collectively known as downstream processing, right? So separation and purification. Separation and purification collectively known as downstream processing. Write down definition for this. So first one, after biosynthesis stage, that product subjected to a series of processes called downstream processing. Otherwise, see, separation and purification techniques are collectively known as downstream processing. First come to separation technique. So how will separate desirable product from the bacterial cells, ma? As usual. So that bacterial cell consists of various chemical composition, various chemical components. For example, bacterial cell wall made up of murin or mucopeptide or peptidoglycan, right? So outer layer, glycocalyx, made up of polysaccharides, and remaining carbohydrates, proteins, lipids present in the cytoplasm of the bacteria. And in nuclear membranes made up of lipids and proteins. So that genetic material DNA and that genetic material DNA undergoes transcription, synthesizes three types of RNA molecules: mRNA, rRNA, tRNA molecules, and that too they participates in protein synthesis. Like that, along with genetic material DNA, it is also enclosed by, they are surrounded by the so many chemical components. But which chemical component is desirable now? Yes, proteins, right? Imagine proteins are desirable, right? Desirable proteins. So we need to separate desirable proteins from the bacterial cells. Desirable proteins, right? We need to separate. How we will separate desirable protein from the bacterial cells? As usual, same information. When the bacterial cell treated with what type of enzymes? Yes, lysozyme enzyme, lysozyme enzyme, lipases, carbohydrases, DNases, RNases. It means except protease enzymes, remaining enzymes we are using for the separation of other macromolecules. Okay, right? So here, except protease enzymes, remaining enzymes we are using for the degradation of other macromolecules. Now, what will happen in this case? All macromolecules completely digested or degraded except proteins. So like that, we separated desirable proteins from the bacterial cells. by using various enzymes, by treating various enzymes. What type of enzymes? Except proteases. Except proteases. If we are using proteases, what will happen? That proteins also digested. But here desirable product is protein, right? Except that proteases, remaining enzymes, when we are using for the degradation of other macromolecules. So total components like DNA, RNA, lipids, carbohydrates, right? That peptidoglycan layer, plasma membrane, each and everything undergoes degradation except proteins. So like that, we will separate desirable proteins by using various enzymes, right? Then purification. See, after separation of desirable product, a desirable protein, it is formulated with that product, that product formulated with formulated with preservative solution. Preservative, preservative solution, suitable preservative solution, right? Again, that when we preserve that product in preservative solution, right, we transferred it into the quality control laboratories to check the viability. Otherwise, to check the quality of that product, we send that product to the quality control laboratory, right? So that product, after formulated with preservative solution, that product sent to QC, quality control laboratory, QC labs. It means quality control laboratories, quality control laboratories, right? If it is chemical, okay, if it is protein, we send it to quality control laboratories. Okay, if it is a drug, sir, drug, desirable drug, either it is vaccine or antibiotics, so see, we send it to quality control laboratories, right, to check the viability of the drug, right? So they performed clinical trials on mice and monkey and humans, some humans, volunteers, right? Finally, if it is viable, finally the drug distributed to the public, right? If it is fails, yeah, right? So that entire process is waste. Recombinant DNA technology process is waste, right? Then see, after formulated that product with preservative solution, that product sent to quality control laboratories. Why? To check the quality of products. To check the quality of product. Product. Okay, if it is viable, that product is viable or suitable, so that product sent to public for the utilization, for the usage, right? Then next one. See the downstream processing and quality control methods varies from one product to another product. So that control methods, quality control methods and downstream processing, downstream processing varies from one product to another product. Varies from one product to another product. It means for enzymes isolation, we are using separate quality control methods and downstream processing. For the antibiotics, separate downstream processing and quality control methods. For the drugs and for the desirable products, we're using various different quality control methods and downstream processing techniques, right? So this is information about downstream processing, right? When we'll perform downstream processing? After completion of biosynthetic stage. After developing of that bacterial cells in bioreactor, we are using downstream processing, right? Why so? Why? Because for the separation, for the obtaining desirable product are required products, right? So definition for downstream processing here: after biosynthetic stage, that product subjected to the a series of processes, right? So that separation and purification techniques are collectively known as downstream processing, right? In that, the desirable proteins we need to separate, right? After separation of the desirable protein, so we formulated with preservative solutions. Again, it's sent to quality control laboratories to check the quality of that particular product, either it is hormone or enzyme or antibiotic or vaccine, whatever it may be, right? Then say that quality control methods and downstream processing techniques varies from one product to another product. right? So finally, the desirable product we collected from the recombinant DNA containing bacterial cells, right? Right. This is information about rDNA technology or process of rDNA technology. Finally, I'll give one example on total rDNA technology, process of rDNA technology. Right. Take one screenshot. I'll give an example for this rDNA technology. Insulin production. Better to take insulin production. Here, desirable product is insulin. For example, I'm giving, right? Insulin production. So how will produce insulin? So what is insulin? Is it hormone or enzyme? Hormone, right? Insulin hormone. So is it polypeptide or carbohydrate insulin? Polypeptide, proteins. Hormones are nothing but proteins. Hormones are nothing but proteins. Okay, right? Around majority of the people, South Indian people are diabetic nowadays. Majority of the South Indian people are diabetic, right? So they need insulin, right? In earlier days, we collected insulin from the slaughtered animals, right? Animals. So wantedly, we killed animals for the collection of insulin in earlier days. But after biotechnology, right, after introducing the technique genetic engineering or biotechnology, so we will synthesize it, right, insulin, recombinant insulin, by using bacterial cells. But how so? So how that rDNA technology or genetic engineering technology useful to produce large quantity of desirable product or required product or insulin? So we'll see step by step, one by one, right? First, we collected insulin encoding genetic material from the pancreatic cells, right? So from the pancreatic cells, we need to collect insulin encoding genes. Insulin encoding genes. So it is nothing but the genes which are responsible for the production of insulin hormone we collected from the pancreatic cells. But how we will collect? So same procedure again. So first we need to collect genetic material, purified genetic material, by treating with various enzymes. After that, fragmentation of genetic material by using restriction endonuclease enzymes. Then separation and isolation process for the isolation of desirable product or desirable gene, actually desirable gene, right? Remaining amplification process and further procedures, right? So like that, we isolated desirable gene. That desirable gene is insulin gene. So from where we collected, right, we collected that insulin gene from the pancreatic cells. Okay, right? Then, and that too, we collected bacterial cells also from the large intestine, human large intestine. Which bacteria can survive in large intestine? Right, E. coli, Escherichia coli. Right, which bacteria? Escherichia coli. But already we have some idea that Escherichia coli bacterial plasmid do not carry antibiotic resistant genes. Am I right? See, that's the reason we isolated that plasmid from the bacterial cells. Again, it is reconstructed into, right, reconstructed into PBR 322. It means modified plasmid. It is modified plasmid, PBR 322. Is it clear? See, we collected desirable genetic material from the pancreatic cells. Again, we collected E. coli cells from the large intestine, right? E. coli. That Escherichia coli has xenophore and plasmid, right? What is plasmid? In addition with xenophore, a small circular double-stranded DNA which is freely floats in the cytoplasm of E. coli called plasmid. Okay, right? So that plasmid also we isolated by treating with various enzymes, except DNases. See, that plasmid do not carries antibiotic resistant genes. That's the reason we reconstructed that plasmid into PBR322 vector, right? Ideal vector or PBR322 vector. Okay, right? So now that insulin encoding genetic material, right? Insulin encoding genetic material and PBR322 vector treated with same type of restriction endonuclease enzymes. Same type of restriction endonuclease enzyme, right? Then it resulting in the formation of same type of stick ends. When we treated both insulin gene and PBR322 vectors with same type of restriction endonuclease enzymes, it resulting in the formation of same type of stick ends in both E. coli vector, PBR322 vector and insulin gene. Okay, right? So that insulin genetic material inserted into the PBR322 vector by using ligase enzyme. So by using DNA ligase enzyme, that insulin gene inserted into the PBR322 vector. Okay, right. It resulting in the formation of rDNA molecule, a recombinant DNA molecule. See here it is rDNA molecule. Other name for rDNA, chimeric DNA. Other name for rDNA, chimeric DNA. It resulting in the formation of rDNA molecule or chimeric DNA molecule. See that rDNA molecule has two genomes, two genetic materials. One is PBR322 genetic material and another one is insulin genetic material. Human genetic material, one more bacterial genetic material. Okay, right? So that rDNA again inserted into the host cell cytoplasm. Which cell act as host cell here? Yes, again, bacterial cell only. So which cell act as host cell? E. coli cell only. E. coli, another E. coli bacterial cell. Right? So that rDNA inserted into the Escherichia coli bacterial cell. Right? So after insertion of rDNA into host cell cytoplasm, so we need to select recombinant cells from the non-recombinant cells. Recombinant cells from the non-recombinant cells by using selectable markers or insertional inactivation method or colony hybridization method. Okay, right? After selection of recombinant cells from the non-recombinant cells, right, we transfer that bacterial cells into the bioreactors. Last step, bioreactors. So in bioreactors, when we culture that bacterial cells along with bacterial genetic material, it means along with PBR322 vectors, so that human genetic material also replicated. So that human genetic material also replicated in bacterial cell. So what is human genetic material here? Human gene, human insulin gene. Okay, right? That human insulin gene or human insulin encoding genetic material which is present in bacterial cell cytoplasm undergoes transcription and translation and synthesizes proteins. Which proteins? Insulin proteins. Insulin proteins. Okay, right? So finally, by using downstream processing, easily we will separate the desirable protein or insulin from the bacterial cells. So in this way, desirable protein or required protein, right, or desirable product, either it is antibiotics or vaccines, whatever it may be, the desirable proteins, enzymes, right? So we isolated from the bacterial cells, right? We produce a large quantity by using bacterial cells in rDNA technology, right? So in this way, large quantity of insulin easily we will produce by using genetic engineering technology or biotechnology, right? So is it clear? So first we collected insulin encoding genetic material from the pancreatic cells. Second thing is that bacterial cells we collected from the large intestine, E. coli. So okay, we isolated genetic material insulin gene from the pancreatic cells by using isolation of genetic material DNA, fragmentation of genetic material DNA, second step. Third step, separation and isolation. Agarwal gel electrophoresis technique and southern blotting technique were using for the separation of desirable gene. Like that, so desirable or required insulin gene we collected from the human genetic material, right? Then second one, Plasmid also collected from the bacterial cell. But how so? By treating with various enzymes, lysozymes, then proteases, then RNases, lipases, right? Except DNases, remaining enzymes were using for the separation of plasmid. But that plasmid is not suitable or not ideal. So that's the reason reconstructed into PBR 322, right? So both of them treated with same type of restriction endonuclease enzymes. We call it as cutting of DNA. Then again, we inserted that foreign genetic material into the vector genetic material by using ligase enzyme, it resulting in the formation of rDNA or chimeric DNA. So again, after that, we inserted that rDNA into host cell cytoplasm by using any one of the method, 5 methods we discussed, right? Then again, so to maintain that foreign genetic material in host cells, right? We are using vectors, bioreactors, right? So we cultured that host cells or E. coli cells, RDNA containing E. coli cells. So in bioreactors, what will happen in bioreactors? Okay, right, that bacterial cells undergoes rapid binary fission, or they're replicated rapidly. So along with bacterial genetic material, that human genetic material also replicated in that bacterial cells. Around 1,000 liters of raw material gradually converted into 1,000 liters of bacterial cells in that bioreactors. But before that, how we will select recombinant cells from the non-recombinant cells? So by using any one of the method, either insertional inactivation and selectable markers, colony hybridization. By using any one of the method, we selected that recombinant cells and transferred to the bioreactor. Right, in bioreactor optimum conditions, they culture rapidly around 1,000 liters of bacterial cells. In 1,000 liters of bacterial cells, each and every bacterial cell contains human genetic material. In 1,000 liters of bacteria, each and every bacterial cell contains human genetic material. Which genetic material? Insulin gene. That insulin gene undergoes transcription, translation, and synthesizes protein. Which protein? Insulin protein. But how we will isolate or separate that insulin protein from the bacterial cells? Right, except that protease enzymes, remaining enzymes, when we are using, right, total major components or large component degraded, except proteins, remaining macromolecules completely degraded, right? That, so like that, desirable protein collected from the bacterial cells, desirable proteins collected from the bacterial cells, right? So in this way, either it is protein or enzyme, right, either hormone, right, we collected from the bacterial cells by using genetic engineering or biotechnology, right? Weekend portion, process of rDNA technology, and human genome project. Portion for this weekend, process of rDNA technology, then human genome project. Remaining